guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and unsurprise, Terminator Dark Fate is a bomb. It's a massive bomb. Who would have predicted it? Oh, I know, like the entire internet, all of YouTube. Everybody knew this movie was going to be a complete dumpster fire from the time the director opened his mouth and started making it political to the time we saw the first trailer. We started to hear plot leaks. Like, everybody knew this was going to be a garbage movie, and sure enough, audiences don't care. They do not care. This should have been a slam dunk to get Linda Hamilton back in a Terminator movie, to get Arnie back in a Terminator movie, to have James Cameron involved somewhat. This could have been a turning point for the Terminator franchise, which has not been doing well in recent years. Instead, this is the nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin. So we're going to talk about that on this episode of Clownfish TV. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. We're hoping to hit 100,000 soon. We're almost at 70. And YouTube was doing some funny stuff this week. They were throttling people's channels. They were purging subscribers. I don't think we had any subscribers purged, but it's very, very hard to tell with YouTube because they keep changing their subscriber count, how they count subscribers. So you can never see like your actual count. You see like 69.2, publicly, even though you might have lost 50 subs. We don't know what's going on. But anyway, guys, we're trying to get to 100,000 so we can keep bringing you content. Definitely appreciate the support so far. So this is a movie nobody wanted. Nobody asked for this. The last couple Terminator movies have been duds. Genesis, I never bothered watching Genesis. I did see Terminator 3, which was okay. Terminator 3 was okay. It definitely wasn't in the same league as 1 and 2, but it was all right. Salvation was, it was okay. It was passable. It wasn't great. It was passable. Genesis, didn't even bother with it. I didn't care. And now we've got Dark Fate, which again, at first I was excited about this movie because I'm like, wow, they're getting Linda Hamilton back. They're getting Arnie back. There was talk of Edward Furlong coming back. I'm like, this might actually be pretty good. If they can get James Cameron involved, this might actually be a return to form. And the more we heard about this movie, the more the director opened his mouth, the more it looked like this was going to be a complete and utter shit show. And sure enough, audiences don't care. How little do they care? Thursday night previews, $2 million. $2 million. Friday, 11 million. We're talking, this movie is going to make less than $30 million opening weekend, which is way less than they predicted. They knew it wasn't going to do fantastic, but I don't think anybody could predict that this movie was going to do as abysmally as it did. So this is coming from Forbes. Mr. Scott Mendelson. Box office, Terminator bombs again as Dark Fate nabs apocalyptic $11 million Friday. This franchise is dead. It is dead. It is dead, and you could have brought it back to life if you were smart about it, but no, we were not smart. We did not give audiences what they actually wanted. We were going to tell the audiences what they should like, and it did not work. So even with James Cameron and Linda Hamilton reuniting with Arnold Schwarzenegger in an R-rated sequel which stole from the Star Wars Force Awakens playbook, Terminator Dark Fate once again failed to avoid Judgment Day because audiences just don't care about the Terminator as a brand, an IP, or a franchise, but they could if they did it right. And they're not doing it right. Time and time again, they screw it up. This could have been a slam dunk, and it's just not. It's not. Now, disclaimer, I haven't watched the movie. Apparently, a lot of other people haven't watched the movie. I have listened to reviews from people whose opinions I trust. I do know the spoilers. I have no interest in seeing this movie at all. Just like I had no interest in seeing Genesis. I dipped out after Salvation, and I loved Terminator 1 and 2. I was a big fan of both. Terminator 2, like, people don't realize how big Terminator 2 was in the early 1990s. It was massive. Terminator was a huge, huge deal, and now it's a nothing. It's just nothing. Nobody cares. And this is it. This is the nail in the coffin. So Dark Fate faced Judgment Day once again, earning just $10.6 million on Friday. The sci-fi sequel, directed by Tim Miller, produced by James Cameron, and starring franchise vets Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger, along with newbies Mackenzie Davis, Natalia Reyes, and Gabrielle Luna, was the third attempt to revive the Terminator series in a decade. McGee's Terminator Salvation, a future war sequel starring Christian Bale, which was, it was okay, earned $125 million domestic and $375 million on a $200 million budget. Terminator Genesis, a time-twisting retcon that paired Schwarzenegger and Emilia Clarke and Jay Courtney, earned $89 million domestic and $441 million worldwide on a $155 million budget, including $113 million in China. Dark Fate, following Star Wars The Force Awakens playbook, is the third strike for the sci-fi series that won't die and can't live. Terminator has become a metaphor for itself, with filmmakers trying different things, only to face the same outcome. Judgment Day is inevitable. Hollywood may yet figure out that audiences who aren't diehard sci-fi geeks have little interest in additional Terminator movies. Making a future war sequel with Christian Bale as John Connor didn't do it. Making a time-twisting retcon, presumably modeled after Star Trek, didn't do it. Bringing back the old gang for Passing the Torch sequel like The Force Awakens didn't do it. The pitches change, the hooks differ, but the result is always the same. Just because folks like Terminator in 84 and lost their minds over Terminator 2 in 91 does not mean they have an interest in an additional Terminator movie. Just because something was once popular doesn't mean audiences care for a new iteration. So this wasn't the only thing. Again, this movie could have been a hit. It could have been a hit. James Cameron now, fans are really on board with Cameron after Alita. He had the same role, I guess, a producing role in this movie. We were getting Linda Hamilton back. We're getting Arnie back, etc., etc. If this movie were done correctly and it was done as a legit reboot or technically third, I guess, if you want to just discount Terminator 3, technically third James Cameron Terminator movie, and it was marketed as such to the old school fans, you would have got people on board. But instead, this is how you market the movie. The director shoots his mouth off 6 months before it opens. Tim Miller says Terminator Dark Fate will scare the F out of misogynistic internet trolls. Guess what? A lot of people took that to mean that this is going to be a man-bashing movie, even though the male demographic is predominantly the largest demographic probably for this franchise. You just told them to stay home. This movie doesn't want them. And you know what they did? They stayed home. And then as the movie came out, you decided to throw more politics into it. Mackenzie Davis, star of the movie, can't find a male gaze in Terminator Dark Fate. So they're talking about the freaking Bechdel test. Again, this is not something that fans of the Terminator give a shit about. Terminator Dark Fate is the gayest Terminator yet. Tim Miller's movie is sexy and totally gay. Nobody cares. They want to see robots get blown up. That's what they want. They want to see shit catch on fire. Right? This is not what anybody wanted. This is not what fans of the franchise wanted. I don't know how else to spell it out. These studios keep doing this time and time and time again. They have all the pieces, but then they put the pieces together and they take a sledgehammer to it and it's a pile of shit, and then they still blame the fans. What is wrong with you? This movie could have been a slam dunk. Getting the old gang back together could have been a slam dunk. Again, it's a missed opportunity, and it's the death knell of the Terminator franchise. This is embarrassingly bad. It's not that nobody gives a shit about Terminator. It's that nobody gives a shit about bad Terminator. Nobody gives a shit about political Terminator. A Terminator movie done right would do well. But I digress. This one is a turd, and it's going to be flushed and forgotten about very, very quickly. Now let's compare it to The Joker, which again is going to make bank this weekend. It's not going to beat The Terminator because it is on its fourth weekend, but it's getting pretty close to $1 billion on a $55 million budget. And you know what? is so funny about the Joker. I love this. I love these news outlets, quote unquote, air fingers, can't see it, but they're trying to figure out what happened. It was unexpectedly a huge hit. Well, one, the movie was good. And two, I think there was a lot of support thrown behind this movie because the people who worked on this movie told the media to go F themselves. You know, the same media that tries to control what movies you like, what games you like, what TV shows you like. The media that tells you what you need to like instead of letting you and reporting objectively on the things that fans actually like. The fans were left to their own devices. The media tried to destroy Joker. They tried and they tried. And we've been covering it here on Clownfish TV. I've never seen anything quite like it. I mean, they literally just tried to destroy this movie. It was Alita on a whole nother level. They were trying to scare people away from Joker. Trying to tell them they were going to get shot if they went to go see the Joker because all the white men were going to come after them if they went to go see the Joker. Then when that did not work, when it had a gangbusters opening weekend, then they tried to guilt them. They tried to guilt them from seeing the Joker. They tried to tell them if they went to go see the Joker, they were giving Gary Glitter, convicted P-word, kitty lover, Gary Glitter, they were giving him money. And that turned out not to be true. Not to be true. They tried everything they could do. They tried to trick Joaquin Phoenix into saying something stupid so they could use it as ammo against him and against the production as to why people shouldn't go see this movie, and he wouldn't play into it. Joaquin Phoenix, who's actually a pretty progressive guy, they were trying to get him. They were trying to get him to say something that they could use in headlines to scare people away from this movie, and he would not play into it. And good on him for that. Todd Phillips, director, would not play into this bullshit game that the media outlets play. Warner Brothers got sick of this and would not let the media interview Joaquin Phoenix or Todd Phillips at the premiere because they knew exactly what they were trying to do. You know, I think the studios, if this doesn't send a clear message, if you can't look at Joker and then look at Terminator and look at the marketing, the difference between the marketing, and look at how the media dealt with, both of these franchises, Terminator could have been a huge hit. It could have been. You could have recaptured that magic. You could have gotten people excited, and all you did was tell them to stay home for all the wrong reasons. You know, the media is studios' worst enemy. The studios want to make money. They want to make money in these freaking blogs, these pop culture blogs and their hot takes. These pop culture blogs and their hot takes and their motor mouth directors and their motor mouth activist actors are the worst enemy the studios have right now. And I'm hoping, at least Warner Brothers seems like they're starting to wake up to this, that your people are not doing you any favors. They're actually costing you money. You need to shut them down. You know, you need to shut them up. I don't think the studios all the time are behind a lot of the dumb things that actors and directors and PR people say. But I think they thought for the last 4 or 5 years that this is where culture was going because they were basing the rest of the country on what they were seeing in LA, what they were seeing in San Francisco and New York. And that's not indicative of where the country actually is. You can't tell people, we're going to scare the F out of you, men, and expect them to show up and support your movie. Again, Terminator could have been a huge hit. It should have been. Linda Hamilton, James Cameron, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Eddie Furlong. Holy shit. But you put the pieces together wrong. You put the pieces together wrong, and this franchise is dead. Congratulations. Congratulations, another franchise dead. You know what? People are going to take their money and they're going to move on to something else. It's as simple as that. So you want people's money, you got to give them what they want, and don't insult them. Don't insult them. Just make a movie. That's your job. Make movies. Make movies. Keep your hot takes to yourself and just make movies. So, not surprised at all by this. Not surprised at all by this. And I don't know how many more painful multi-million-dollar lessons these studios are going to have to learn until they get it. Maybe they'll never get it. Maybe they'll go bankrupt before they, before it registers with them that they're actually hurting themselves. They're hurting themselves. by trying to be the moral compass of America, when really all America wants from you is entertainment. That's really all they want. So I don't know. But please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, and rants. And yeah, I don't even think I'm going to check this one out on home video. I literally do not give a shit anymore about Terminator. And I used to be a huge fan. So that is my opinion. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.